Hey everybody, it's Minius, and I started working on this video before the recent reveals, and now I can't wait anymore because it's obvious. There is something shady about the Andromeda initiative. Before I jump into this, let's get some background, starting with, what is the Andromeda Initiative? And some of you might know this, but basically, the Andromeda Initiative is the group that is organizing this trip to the Andromeda Galaxy. They are not associated, at least officially, with anybody we've ever heard of before. They are not linked to the Citadel Council, they are not linked to the Alliance, they are a civilian multi-species project created to send scientists, explorers, and colonists on a one-way trip to settle in the Andromeda Galaxy. They've got some powerful benefactors behind them, and the program has grown, quote, substantially since its inception in 2176, which is 10 years before Mass Effect 3 and about 6 to 7 years before Shepard even learned about the Reapers. Basically, the imminent arrival of the Reapers isn't supposed to be a factor. On the surface, their goal is to establish a permanent presence in the resource-rich Helios cluster and eventually set up a reliable route between it and the Milky Way. I've said this many times, but this is crazy. Bonkers, nuts, whatever. Less than 1% of the Milky Way galaxy is explored in the Mass Effect universe, and every single one of those 99+% unexplored star systems are exponentially easier to get to than anything in the Andromeda Galaxy. And there's no way that one of these unexplored systems in the Milky Way is not, quote, resource-rich. Basically, it makes a whole lot of sense if there's some motivation going on for this Andromeda expedition that we aren't being told about on the surface. And we are being told stuff. Basically, the videos being posted are recruitment advertisements set in 2184, and I encourage you to check them out. If you haven't, there's a link in the description box. But my point is this: if you look at this trip from a 100% logical point of view, it seems very likely that already there is something shady about this initiative. This motivation they claim, on the surface, doesn't make sense. So let's look at some of those shady things, starting with the last line of the descriptive paragraph on the human pathfinder Alec Ryder from the most recent Andromeda Initiative briefing. Alec, by the way, is the father of your playable character. And it says, Alec became interested in artificial intelligence as a means of human advancement. Human advancement. Who else do we know of that is all about human advancement?
I know what we're doing here, but what's Cerberus' long-term goal?
The advancement of the human race. Nothing more, nothing less.
Oh boy. Still, there's a chance that this language is a coincidence. Human advancement isn't exclusively a Cerberus thing. Hey, even working on illegal AIs isn't just a Cerberus thing, because the Alliance does it. They're definitely not supposed to, according to galactic law, but they've done it anyway. So let's look at this AI of the Ryder dad called SAM, which is short for Simulated Adaptive Matrix. That's a very distinct look. It looks kind of like... oh boy. Maybe all AIs look like this, you know, without a robot shell or something, but damn, Sam and Edie look very related. How about this lady? She's the second in command to Alec Ryder as far as the human Pathfinder branch is concerned. Her name is Cora Harper. Huh. The elusive man fought in the First Contact War under the name of Jack Harper. That's an interesting coincidence. Now, you can skip forward about 15 seconds if you don't like leaks, but let's look at an old leaked t-shirt from early on in the game's production. That color scheme is familiar. Very familiar. What about these guns the team is holding in the most recent trailer? They're painted white. Cerberus guns are white. All of these are interesting coincidences. Alone, they can probably be explained away, but together... like I said, there's something shady about the Andromeda Initiative. But is Cerberus really one of their powerful benefactors? What exactly would Cerberus get out of this journey? A while ago, I did a video on an early exit theory. Others have called it Plan B. Basically, I pointed out that one of the only ways Mass Effect Andromeda could work logically was if these Andromedan colonists left before the ending of Mass Effect 3. And they did. The reason I put forward was escaping the Reapers, which they did, and perhaps this wasn't an accident for everybody.
It's never that simple. You of all people should know that.
Cerberus definitely knew and believed about the existence of Reapers ahead of time and took major steps to counter the trash-talking machines not long after Shepard discovered their existence. Perhaps they latched onto this Andromeda initiative as a backup plan for humanity. And that actually fits with Cora Harper being on this mission. If she really is the elusive man's daughter, wouldn't it make sense for her father to do everything he could to shield her from harm? Like getting her a job that sends her out of the galaxy? There is another possible motivation here that's separate from the Reaper threat: power. The Andromeda Initiative even says the region of Andromeda they're going to is resource-rich, and they intend to bring those resources back to the Milky Way. How about the destination of this group? The Helios Cluster, which is a group of thousands of stars at the outskirts of the Andromeda Galaxy, and we've seen clusters of stars before. I've got one on the screen now, but let's look at the visuals of the Helios Cluster that we've gotten, apparently from long-range scans from the Andromeda Initiative. Wow, that doesn't look like a normal cluster at all. It actually kind of looks like a miniature galaxy. In fact, what the hell is this thing? I'm not a theoretical astrophysicist, but based on what I know about the subject, this thing shouldn't exist. It's far too large. It should have collapsed, or should be made up of a tightly orbiting group of stars instead of whatever the hell this blue stuff is. I've mentioned that the trip all the way to the Andromeda Galaxy is crazy. But what if it's to investigate something that's crazy? Because I think there is something off about this Helios cluster. Let's look at some early concept art, because we've got these floating rocks, and in trailers, the rocks are floating. And what is doing that? Can that power be harnessed? And if so, does that give the wielder of this power a serious advantage over others? I mean, would it be worth going all the way out there to try to bring that back to the Milky Way? It just might be. I can see Cerberus, or anyone really, making a play for this stuff. Now there is an issue here. Bringing anything back from the Andromeda Galaxy is going to take a hell of a long time. What guarantee is there that this new power will be stronger than technological evolution? But that's not as serious an issue as you might think. And that's because technology in the Mass Effect universe is pretty stagnant. I mean, we're used to seeing technological advancement in our own society grow at a torrid pace. But in the lore of the Mass Effect universe, this isn't the case. The Solarians and Asari who fought against the Rachni a few thousand years before the start of the trilogy aren't much more advanced than the Solarians and Asari we get during the trilogy. And this is why the human race can jump in and compete immediately. During the First Contact War, military technology between the humans and Turians was about equal, even though the Turians discovered Mass Effect technology at least 1,400 years before the humans did. It seems like once the races of the Milky Way picked up on the technology they thought the Protheans left them, they couldn't advance much further on their own. So, even if it took an expedition 1,000 to 2,000 years to get to Andromeda and back, there's a really good chance that the Milky Way's technological level would be about the same, and whoever brings back this Andromedan power would have a serious advantage, allowing the owners of that power to make maybe a crap load of money, or even dominate the rest of the Milky Way. Now that's a reason to take a crazy journey to Andromeda, and you'd have to imagine Cerberus would be interested in that.
You're very blunt, Shepard, but you're right.
But I should point out one more thing, and that's that if this power idea is correct, the Andromeda Initiative doesn't need Cerberus to be shady. Going far away on a quest to control a power you don't understand easily fits in with traditional sci-fi and fantasy themes. Perhaps the heads of the Andromeda Initiative have nothing to do with Cerberus, but are making a long-term power play. Maybe Alec Ryder has loose connections with Cerberus, but wants to do his own thing for his own reasons. Multiple combinations of going for power and escaping the Reapers are possible, any one of which would make a compelling story no matter who the players are, and story is a major part of Mass Effect. But tell me what you think. Why does the Andromeda Initiative really exist? Let everybody know in the comments section below. And if you like this video, please give it a like. It really helps out the channel. Keep an eye on MiniusGC for more Mass Effect videos. But for now,
I should go.